Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video, you guessed it by the title, is going to be my updated go-to glam routine. So super easy, you could wear it every day, also perfect for night, and this hairstyle that takes literally 2 minutes and makes you look way more put together than you are. So I'll list all the products that we're gonna use and talk about down below, and let's just get right into it. All right, so for foundation, I've been liking the Face Tape by Tarte. I like it because it comes with the little minis. In the summer, if you have a little tan going, it's good that you can kind of mix in a little bit of a darker shade or vice versa. So I have light neutral, that's pretty much my like winter shade. And then in the summer, I like to mix in the medium neutral, or I'll just do all medium neutral. So it's a really nice full coverage foundation. I like the pump. I like that the bottle is plastic, so you don't have to worry about it breaking, and it has a really great shade range finally. And I've just been liking that it's super full coverage and that it covers everything I want, but it still appears skin-like. So this dries down nice. It's not super tacky at all. I'm gonna lower the brightness a little bit because I feel like it's washing me out. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better. So for concealer, I've been liking the NYX. This is the Bear With Me new concealer serum. And I'm just gonna do this on the under eyes. So taking a little bit of the serum, dab it on my finger. The only thing I don't like about this is that it does tend to be a little bit tacky. It'd be perfect to add in to your moisturizer that has some sunscreen in if you wanted to just get a little bit of coverage and kind of do a little DIY tinted moisturizer. I just wish that the shades had maybe a little bit more of a yellow tone to them. Something a little bit more like neutralizing. I'm just gonna tap that in here. But this is very thick and very creamy. It's not like your typical concealer. To brighten up my under eyes a bit, I'm back to loving the NYX. This is the Banana Brightening Powder. It's only like $10 at Target. I think it works just as good as all of my high-end powders. And it doesn't dry down dark. I find that some of the other powders tend to like pull like an orangey or like a darker shade. For bronzer, I'm gonna take one of my drugstore favorites. This is the Butter Bronzer. This is just the little travel mini. And I'm gonna take that a little bit higher than my cheekbone. Like instead of hitting it here, I'm gonna hit it right above. And then just blend it all up into my hairline. And then I've been liking dusting a little bit, like in a W, just to give it more of like a sun bronze look. And then for blush, I love the Milani. This is the Cheek Kiss blush in the shade Nude Kiss, and it is so good. The color is perfect. And I had this in my cart forever. This is just the e.l.f. small stipple brush, but it just, no liquid blushes or cream blushes apply the way they do with this brush. It is so, so good. And I've been focusing doing the blush right above where I put the bronzer, like up in this area. And then at the end, I'll kind of put a little bit down here, but not too much. So, and last week I had a self tan, so I just put this down a little bit heavy because it definitely shows up differently when you have a little bit of a tan. So I just like to take my blender and kind of go around it, make sure it's just nice and blended. For highlighter, I've been keeping it simple with the Milani. This is the shade Champagne Dioro, and this is their baked highlighter. So I like to put this down and then apply setting spray, because I find that it just kind of melts it into the skin a little bit better. And I'm placing that right above where I put the blush. And it goes on nicely over the cream blush. And then I like to just put a little bit like on the tip of my nose and then up here. I haven't been liking dragging it down my nose anymore because I just feel like my nose is rather narrow. And when I do the highlight line down it, it just really kind of accentuates that pickle type nose that I think I have. I don't know, just like super narrow, like there's a big hot dog on my face. So I like it just a little bit here and a little bit here. And the color on my lips right now is the Milani. This is the Fruit Fetish. This is just the lip oil. I like to put this on in the morning. It feels so nice on your lips. It's so moisturizing, and I find that it just preps them perfect. So then when I do my liner and my lipstick, there's no like flaking or anything yucky going on. And then I'm gonna set my face makeup. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Pure Setting Spray. This is the Invisible Hydrating Setting Spray. It's alcohol free. It's supposed to be non-sticky. So like to the touch, it's not sticky. However, I can feel it on my face where it feels a little bit sticky. but it makes your skin look beautiful. I will say that the spritzer on this is not good at all. It leaks, you'll see, it kind of like spritzes funny. I don't know if I just got a faulty one, but I think this would be awesome if they could fix this spritzer because mine's leaking out the side right now. So I'm gonna just put a little bit on now. See, you kind of, like it spits. See, it's not really working, so that's a little frustrating. Let me try to do it again without making weird faces. It's not, they gotta improve the mister because it's a shame. Maybe I just got a faulty one, and I find that it makes your skin look really pretty. On the back it says, no tightness, no sticky feeling, no smudging. I wouldn't agree with that 100%, but it doesn't bother me enough to where I wouldn't use it because if my skin looks good, I don't care how it, feels. That's just me. Let's do eyebrows really quickly. I either use CoverGirl brow pencil or I use the Anastasia for the most part, and then I like to do a little brow powder sometimes. I'll just do this really quick because I know that this can be boring, but I have a lot of sparseness. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, we did the really thin brows, so just don't do it if you're thinking of it because they just don't grow back, and I had hefty brows back in the day, so there we go with that. And then I like the e.l.f. Brow Wow to add a little extra color and then set the brows down. Let's do eyes. So I've been reaching for this almost every day. I really like using the peach shade and then also this like golden shade and then these two shimmers, and then I'll deepen things up with that top one. And then I've also been really loving this color right here. This is the Milani Gilded Nude palette at the drugstore. I think you can get it for like under $20. And this shade up top, I've been really liking that. And then I love the e.l.f. glitter to just put on the lid and give it more of a glam, but it's like a doable everyday glam. It's nothing crazy, but it looks so pretty. I'm gonna start off by mixing these two shades together and just applying it all over the crease. With a smaller brush, I am just gonna pop this shade right here and connect it from the outside to the lower lid. So it just swipes up and connects to the top there. I'm gonna go in with the shade Weekender right here and highlight the brow bone and just blend this all up in there. I've been liking doing this step kind of in the beginning with this, just so I can see what needs to be blended a little bit more. This is meant to be an easy glam. I'll go back in with that first brush with no extra product and then just buff it out a little bit more to make sure everything is nice and blended. So now I'm gonna go back in with the Coral Me Maybe. Take this beautiful shade right here and then just tap that all over the lid and just kind of blend it with my finger up into the crease. Taking this gold glittery shade now, I'm gonna pop that on the inner corner. I'm gonna take a fluffier brush and mix these two shades up top real loosely, just kind of tap in here so that there's not a harsh shadow line and then it's nice and blended. This is just a little hack, kind of even things out a little bit. Kind of dab it on. I think I'm gonna deepen things up a little bit on the outer V area. I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm deciding to. So I'm gonna take a smaller, more precise brush, and this is a Morphe, what is this, an M321. Perfect for this, and I'm just gonna tap a little bit of the brown, and then I'm gonna mix it a little bit with that middle shade, just so things aren't super dark. And I'm just gonna focus that right in where your eyelid meets your crease, and I'm just gonna press that down. So just kind of stamp it in there and press it down. I'm gonna take a little smaller, precise blending brush and just make sure it's nice and blended. So for my favorite part, this is the e.l.f. glitter and it is in the shade Flirty Birdie. So I'm just gonna put that on my lid, just kind of tap it on. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then sometimes I add a little bit more. But in the meantime, let's go in on the bottom. I've been liking doing like a brown chocolate liner. This is ColourPop and it is in the shade Juniper. It's just a really pretty like brown chocolate liner. So these are pretty good for a good price point. I don't think they're like as creamy as I like the MAC kohl liners. Like you just swipe them on and they are creamy. So if you have any twist up eyeliner recommendations, I don't want pencil like what you have to sharpen, twist up ones that just glide on and they're so creamy and they have colors, put it down below. Because I find that the ColourPop ones, depending on what color you're using, some of them for me tend to work better than others. So I just put a tiny bit more glitter. So I'm gonna move on to lips because I'm gonna let the glitter dry and then I'll do mascara last. I've been loving this lip combo. It is a total dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip set or lip kit or lip cheat, whatever it's called. So I should probably sharpen this pencil, but we'll get through it. So this is NYX in the shade Peekaboo Neutral. So I'm gonna start by aligning my lips with this. Like down to the brim. So the lipstick this is the Milani in the shade Secret. This is the Color Fetish. It's a perfect shade. And then I've been loving popping a little bit of gloss on top of it. This is the Milani Keep It Full in the shade Champagne. Like a really pretty neutral shade, but it has some like little flecks of shimmer in it. And I just kind of dab it on in the center. Just plumps things up a little bit and I find that it blurs. So if you're struggling with any lines on your lips, this will really help to camouflage that. Finishing up with some mascara. My routine's pretty much the same. So I use an eyelash curler. When I have glitter on, I try to be very careful. I don't get too close to the root because I don't want to make an absolute mess. So I just try to be very careful. Make sure everything is nice and dry. Going with some lash primer. This is the Lash Paradise primer. Not too much has changed there. I'm not too picky with a primer. I typically just go for drugstore mascaras because I find that they work just as well for me. And I don't typically put the primer on my lower lashes because then I feel like it just gets too chunky and then I'm asking for problems with like black specks all over. So I'll let that get a little bit tacky and then use the Lash Princess. This is the Essence Curl and Volume Mascara. At first, I didn't like this as much as the green version, but once things like dried down, I started using it more. I do think that it is just as good. So the bristles are a little bit different. As you can see, it's more of an hourglass shape than the green one, which is more of like a straight taper. And I find that it works really nice on my bottom lashes as well. I think it's a perfect lower lash mascara. So this is this mascara with just one coat. Got a little bit of black up in here, but I can scratch it off and then if I need to put a little bit more glitter, it's no problem. Honestly, I don't even need a second coat because it just works that good when you couple it with the primer. So here are the lashes after 2 coats. I didn't apply a second coat to the bottom because it would have just been too thick. So I'm gonna just fix up this little mishap and then I'll be right back to show you how I've been liking doing my hair quick and easy, but still looks really nice and put together. Right, so I just took my hair out. It is slightly damp, not in the front, but like this section. So what I like to do is just put it up in a high ponytail, but you want to take out any of the pieces that you want out. So like any shorter pieces that you have. So I typically just take out like a small section here and then this just little chunk here. And then everything else is gonna go up into a ponytail. So I just kind of push it up and if like the bumps and stuff bother you, you can just smooth it out, which is what I like to do a little bit. I don't like it too perfect. So I'll just kind of, I know it's hard to see, but I'll just smooth out the back. You don't want it to look too perfect. So I'll get the ponytail nice and high. I like it to be nice and high. So I'm gonna secure the ponytail now. Just with one rubber band like that. So then I just take the ponytail and kind of underneath it and just kind of push it. So push it forward to create like a little bit of a bump like that. And then as I push, I pull. So I'm not gonna brush the hair in the ponytail. My hair is naturally just kind of wavy and it's pretty thick. So I'm just gonna roll it like you would just twist it out, but not like so tight. Roll it around. You don't want it so super tight, but you want it tight enough. And then take another rubber band and secure the bun. Then I take my fingers, start at the top, and I kind of just fan it out. So just fan out the sections, because I like it to be kind of big and puffy. And then sometimes I'll take little clips if I need and just kind of push them in to secure it, like hide them in the back. Again, this is not supposed to be super neat by any means, just kind of like a sloppy, quick updo. Why are the grays always hiding in here? Ugh. It's like sticking out like sore thumbs. And then I take my curling iron. This is 1 1/4, which is perfect, I think, for this. And then I'm just gonna loosely curl the front piece. Just very loosely curl around it like this. Just hold it there for a few seconds. So I'm gonna let these cool off. And then these little pieces, I'm just gonna kind of straighten them because they're like kind of curly. So I'm just gonna smooth them. On this section a little bit, just pull some hair a little bit just to kind of get it a little bit more bouncy. Once they're nice and cooled off, I just use my fingers and kind of loosen up some of the curl. Just take a little bit of hairspray. This is the Gotta Be Flex Insta Hold Flex hairspray. I really like this. I just wish that they offered it in a travel size because I don't use a ton of hairspray. And I just kind of give it a little spritz, and then these front pieces, give them a little spritz because I don't have any like texturizing anything in my hair, so there's really no grit. And then I just kind of play with these pieces a little bit. Some maybe like behind the ear. And that's it. So easy, and it makes you look pulled together if you want to do fun little easy updo and then just have a little bit going on in the front. So I hope you guys enjoyed this new Go To Glam. I'll list all the products down below for you, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.